What is going on, everybody? Welcome to our first MLB The Show 24 video of the year. We're going to be doing a ton of tier lists and meta updates as the year goes on. So if you guys aren't already, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel to be in tune with the tier lists as I see them. It is day one, launch day for the pre-order. I'm going to be going over every single pitcher that I think is valuable and important in the game at this point. Keep in mind there are some pitchers that aren't obtainable for at least a couple of weeks, so I will mention them. However, they won't be part of the actual list themselves. Number two, this is just off prior experience. We don't fully know how this game plays yet, so there very well could be big shifts in this list if some pitchers become more meta than we have potentially been used to in years past, or to become less viable. So this is a day one list, and I'm excited to get right into it. Let's start off this list hot with a couple of cards that I did say were really good, just however they're not obtainable. 99 Andy Pettitte. This card's insane. Sinker cutter, lefty, pretty good per nines, 117 BB9. He's just not obtainable. He's in the XP reward path, and it's going to be at least, they said, a month to a month and a half before you start seeing him on people's rosters. So wanted to bring him up because he's a great 99, just not usable yet. Next is 99 Satchel Paige, the best pitcher in terms of stats in the game and the per nines and all of that. He has outlier too. Again, can't use him because he's a collection card, and there are simply not enough cards to collect to get Satchel day one. So you will get him in the coming weeks, but as of now, he's not available. Another weird one is this 95 Al Leiter. Actually, really good stats besides the BB9. Just literally, we don't know where to get him. He's not in a pack. He's not in a collection. We just don't know. When you go to collections, it doesn't tell you. So because of that, he is on this part of the list. Next is 99 Babe Ruth. I'm only putting him here because he is obtainable. I know I've seen some people like Frosty already getting him. I'm sure a lot of the other big streamers like Kyle and such have done the same as well. Just he's going to be really expensive, so it's not really fair to put him on this list. It is a two-way Babe Ruth, so he pitches and hits, and he's max hitting. So this card's actually crazy. I just don't feel like he's yet to be in the conversation for pitchers. Couple honorable mentions that are available is this 86 Sandy Alcantara. Card's pretty decent. I mean, he has a sinker, fast four seams, a good mix. His windup is pretty okay. The per-nines aren't terrible. He's the starter pack or starter program card, so he is very easy to get, and if you need a diamond starter, he should be at least an option for you. Another honorable mention is going to be this 90 Yohan Santana. The stats aren't super ideal, although the pitching clutch is great. He does have a sinker and a cutter, circle change, and a slider. It's a great pitch mix. He is a lefty. We've never seen him in the game before, so we don't know how good or bad his delivery is going to be. I'm going to assume that he's just going to be okay. He has a free card if you pre-ordered it, 20K. If you didn't, he's not a bad option, certainly. The last honorable mention is going to be this 87 overall Yu Darvish. I have loved Yu Darvish cards, honestly, over the last couple of years. They give him the slow cutter. He has a sinker. He has everything he needs to be great. This one sadly doesn't have a splitter or anything, but he is a captain card, so you get him in the XP reward path. He's one of the better ones of the captains. There are a handful of the good captain cards that are out there. There are a couple of pretty good TA pitchers as well. Just I think pretty much everybody else on this list is better. And I'll talk about TA cards in a completely different video. So if you guys want to be in tune for that, make sure you are subscribed down below, and you'll get the updates when that Team Affinity video is up, probably later today or later this weekend. All right, we are officially in the top 10. Let's get it started. First off, number 10, 87 overall, Patrick Corbin. One of the weirder, glitchier releases in the game. Slider, sinker, four seam, circle change, and 12-6. I wish he threw a little bit harder, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Left-handed starting pitcher, 88 hit per nine, 79K is not terrible. The pitching clutch is pretty good. Very glitchy release, and he is, again, another captain card, so you get him, I think, in the XP reward path. He's going to be solid. People very much struggle with Patrick Corbin, and a lot of the early meta hitters are lefties, so he's going to do pretty well for you. Number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have a classic in the early game supremacy, and that is 87 Jacob deGrom. Probably the lowest we've seen a deGrom in terms of overall in the last couple of years. He didn't pitch last year, so they brought down his overall just a little bit, which certainly makes sense. deGrom, he's going to have outlier on his fastball, slider, circle change, curveball. He's a really good motion. The per nines aren't elite, but he does have outlier, and there's not a whole lot of guys that have it while having at least decent stats across the board. DeGrom definitely does it. The stamina is very low, though. You're not going to get more than 5-6 innings out of him, which is definitely unfortunate. And bullpens are definitely a little thin to start the year. But I do think DeGrom is good. He's not going to be super expensive because he's not a 90 overall. Might be worth a shot. Number 9. Coming in at number 8, I have 90 overall Nolan Ryan. This is a collection reward for the Angels, one of the higher overalls for the Live Series collection. It's a pretty typical Nolan Ryan, pretty decent per nines in the mid to high 90s. The BB9 is atrocious at 51. I think he works with the Kodai boost, but I'm not fully sure. Pitching clutch is great. Nolan cards with low control are typically very bad. And then Nolan cards with better control, and I'm talking like 85 plus, are typically very good. Some people just straight up cannot hit Nolan Ryan, and if they can't hit him normally, they're not going to hit this one either. He deserves a spot on the list, just it's definitely not one of the better Nolans we've seen over time. Nolan, you're number 8. At number 7, we have 90 overall Satchel Paige. We talked about the 99 Satchel Paige earlier. Again, he has the best stats in the game for a pitcher. This one's actually pretty good though. 89 hit per 9, 77 K per 9 is solid. 95 pitching clutch, so it's better. Outlier fastball. He has a sinker and a slider. The screwball is going to really get people. We haven't really seen a Satchel in the meta yet, so it's not like this is a card people have really seen over time. He'll be, I think, like 20K if you do want to buy him, but he is free with your pre-order packs. So if you like pitching, this is probably one of them that you should take. I think the Satchel is really good, and I hope that he plays better than he had last year. Satchel, you were number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have 88 overall Kodai Senga. Kodai Senga, again, had a fantastic rookie year last year. This year, he's going to get a couple of quirks. 93 hit per 9, 85 K per 9. He's also a captain, which gives him a little bit more valuable in this as well. He boosts guys with low BB9, like himself, which is very nice. Four-seam, sadly, does not have outlier like I was hoping it would coming into the year. Four-seam, forkball, cutter, slider, slurve. It's very, very similar to his card last year. Kodai's awesome. His delivery is great. His forkball is awesome. I really enjoyed using his cards last year. This is definitely one of the better cards. He's free for everybody, too, and you can exchange out your captain cornerstones at any point in time if you'd like to. To me, he's probably the best of the captain cornerstones. It's him or Buxton for sure. I think he's a great pitcher. He's number 6. All right, we're already in the top 5. I mean, it's hard to say a lot about these cards because we haven't seen them, but 95 Pedro Martinez, he is going to be one of the Live Series collection rewards leading up to Babe Ruth, so it's going to take quite a bit of stubs to get to him. Partially why he's as low as he is. He is a core card, however, so he's going to be usable for the entire year. Every season reset, he'll be probably one of the better pitchers that you have available to you, so keep that in mind when we're talking about Pedro. 101 hit per 9 is fantastic. The rest of the stats are all pretty good to very good. The problem with Pedro is that his motion is just way too readable. It's been the issue with him since they brought him into the game 2 years ago, and it remains his biggest issue now. Maybe this one will be a little bit different. He is going to have that outlier. He does have a slower cutter. The pitch mix is definitely good enough to play. It's just whether or not his motion is still going to be subpar. Keep that in mind with Pedro. To me, at the time of release, he's number 5. Number 4, we have the MVP himself, Shohei Ohtani. He is still a starting pitcher card, despite not actually being a starting pitcher this year. He's going to play pretty much just DH. So Ohtani, 101 hit per 9 is great. The big flaw here is the 51 BB9, very similar to the Kodai Senga and Nolan Ryan. However, he has a better pitch mix than both of them and better per 9s than both of them. So that puts him definitely in an echelon above. Slurve, four-seam, cutter, splitter, sinker is an unbelievably good pitch mix, and that's why a lot of people have really liked Ohtani starting the end of last year when it gave him that sinker. He's been really, really nice. Problem with him is he's going to be really, really, really expensive. However, he is a core card, so similar to Pedro, you'll be able to use him all year. He's also on the way towards Pedro. He's on the way towards Babe Ruth, so it's a card you're going to have at some point in time. For that reason, Ohtani is number 4. Coming in at number 3, I legitimately don't know if I think he's number 3 or number 2. I think these two spots are completely interchangeable, honestly. But we have this 90 overall Paul Skeens from the Spring Breakout Series. I mean, they just took Paul Skeens from last year, who was already really good. They took away his slurve, which was easily his worst pitch, and they gave him a sinker instead. So now he has 4-seam cutter, sinker with outlier on the fastball, a slider, and a changeup. This card is essentially Roki Sasaki from last year, especially at the time of release, except he has a circle change instead of a forkball. Paul Skeens definitely has a good motion in this game. I think he's going to be one of the better right-handed pitchers for a while. It does suck that he's a 90 overall. I'm sure at some point when he does get called up this year, he might get a better card, and I would love to see that, honestly, out of Paul. But this is a really good day one card. He is going to be a little bit of stubs because he's out of the rare round of a pack, and I'm going to put him at number 3. Coming in at number 2, John Donaldson. We didn't get one night of sleep without our nightmare-fueled John Donaldson. 91 overall, though, so his stats aren't super great. 82 hit per 9, 77 K per 9. Like, the stats are really just honestly not that good. The reason he is number 2 is because his delivery is so great. Outlier on the slider, outlier on the 4-seam. So he's throwing 103, and his slider gets up to 97 miles an hour. This card is going to be pretty good. However, as of the time of the recording of this video, he's only sitting around 20 to 25,000 stubs. So he's actually super good for his value, especially for being a chase. They clearly nerfed the odds in the chase packs so that you can actually get them more frequently. I've seen quite a few people pulling him and other cards very early on. So John Donaldson, you know, the stats don't say it, but you are the second best pitcher in the game right now on day one. And are you guys surprised? I mean, we didn't get a night of sleep without John Donaldson, and we certainly don't with Randy Johnson. 93 overall Randy Johnson. This is a Mariners version. I hate sideways card art so much, but that's fine. We'll look past it for you, Randy. 95 hit, 97K, 68 BB9. Not great, but it is fine enough because it's Randy Johnson. Outlier fastball. It's a Randy's pitch mix. He's going to be really good. The per-9s are better than most of the cards we've talked about today. Mid to high 90s are very good in terms of day one release when we have the power creep system. He is a ranked reward. You're going to have to get World Series to get him as of right now. And they said about halfway through the ranked season, they'll add more missions so that anybody will be able to go finish those missions out and then get Randy. So as of right now, you have to hit World Series to get him. He is possible, so he's still on the list. Just quite a few of you guys watching this probably won't be able to get him, or will be trying to get him, which is the whole point of looking up a list like this. So if you guys are here trying to hit World Series, there's a good chance you're gonna pick Randy once you get there, and I hope you guys get it. I think you're all great. That's gonna wrap it up. That is our first video for MLB The Show 24. I mean, I'm really excited to get into this game and make more lists for you guys. We are going to be coming out with videos every single Monday called Meta Monday. We will talk about the shifts in the meta as they come out, as they happen when new cards come out, and how they stack up versus the previous week's meta. It's going to be a really fun series that I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you guys again. If you want to stay in tune with that and our just other tier lists, the occasional gameplays, and everything else we do on the channel, make sure you subscribe down below. Leave a comment, your favorite pitcher so far, and I will see you guys on the diamond.